Cleopatra is one of the most famous people in all of human history. But unfortunately, almost everything the world thinks it knows about her is actually a myth. So today we're going to strip away 2,000 years of exaggeration and take a look at the real woman behind the legend. And trust me, the truth is actually far more impressive than the fiction. Let's start with the basics. Cleopatra VII was not Egyptian by blood. She was of Macedonian Greek descent. In fact, she was a descendant of Ptolemy I, one of Alexander the Great's generals. He seized power in Egypt after Alexander died in 323 BC. Her family ruled Egypt for nearly 300 years, and in all that time, not a single one of them bothered learning the Egyptian language. Cleopatra was the first. She spoke 9 languages in total: Egyptian, Greek, Ethiopian, Aramaic, Hebrew, and several others. In a royal court where everyone spoke Greek and looked down on native Egyptians, she adopted their religion, learned their language, and presented herself as the reincarnation of the goddess Isis. This wasn't just symbolic, it was a calculated, brilliant political move. She was the first ruler in her dynasty to actually connect with the Egyptian people that she governed. And now, let's address the elephant in the room. Cleopatra has been portrayed by some of the most conventionally beautiful women in Hollywood history, and while we can't know exactly what she looked like, ancient coins bearing her image tell a somewhat different story than the movies. The coins, minted during her own lifetime, under her own authority, show a woman with a sharp nose, strong features, and an intense gaze. Not exactly the Hollywood ideal, but historians argue this actually makes her all the more remarkable. The ancient writer Plutarch, who lived about 100 years after her death, wrote that her beauty was not so captivating as her presence. What made her magnetic was her voice, her intelligence, and her ability to make anyone she was talking to feel like the most important person in the room. She didn't conquer Julius Caesar and Mark Antony with her looks. She conquered them with her mind. Speaking of Caesar, the movies make their relationship look like a simple love story. The reality was far more calculated. When Cleopatra first met Julius Caesar in 48 BC, she was in serious trouble. Her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, had seized the throne and driven her out of Egypt. She was still technically a queen, but with no kingdom. Caesar has just arrived in Alexandria, the most marvelous city in the ancient world. He was the most powerful man in all of Rome, and Cleopatra needed him. The famous story goes that she had herself smuggled into Caesar's chambers, rolled up inside a carpet, or, as some historians note, a linen sack. She emerged in front of the most powerful man in the world and within hours had charmed him completely. But this wasn't just romance, it was survival. She needed Rome's military backup to retake her throne. Caesar needed Egypt's grain and wealth to support his campaigns back home. Their relationship produced a son, Caesarion, meaning Little Caesar, and temporarily secured her position. But when Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC, she lost her most powerful protector, and she had to start all over again. Enter Mark Antony, one of the 3 men now ruling Rome after Caesar's death. Cleopatra had met Antony briefly before, and when he summoned her in 41 BC, essentially demanding she answer accusations of supporting his enemies, she turned the entire situation on its head. She didn't come running, she made him wait. And when she arrived, she came on a magnificent golden barge, dressed as the goddess Aphrodite, surrounded by servants dressed as sea nymphs, with perfumed sails and music filling the air. The entire city of Tarsus came out to watch. Antony sat alone in the marketplace, because everyone else had left to go see her arrival. She had turned his power summons into her grand entrance. Their alliance was, again, as much political as it was personal. Together, they controlled the eastern half of the known world. She gave him resources and legitimacy in the east, and he gave her military backup and Roman power. They had 3 children together, and for a decade, their partnership was one of the most formidable political forces on Earth, but it couldn't last. Back in Rome, Antony's rival, Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, was building his power, and he declared war, not on Antony, but on Cleopatra. He portrayed her as a dangerous foreign temptress who had corrupted a good Roman man. It was nothing but pure propaganda, but it worked. Rome turned against Antony. At the Battle of Actium in 31 BC, their combined forces were defeated. Antony, receiving false news that Cleopatra had died, took his own life. Cleopatra, now captured and facing being paraded through Rome like a trophy, the greatest humiliation for a queen, chose death over surrender. The story of the asp, the snake she supposedly chose to kill herself, may or may not be true. Some historians believe she used a poisoned pin or poisoned ointment, but the choice itself was real and deliberate. She was 39 years of age when she made the choice to take her own life. With her death, the 300-year Ptolemaic dynasty ended. Egypt became a Roman province, and Octavian, soon to be known as Augustus Caesar, ordered the execution of her son, Caesarion, the last known person with a blood claim to both Egyptian and Roman power. He understood that Cleopatra, even in death, could still be dangerous. Cleopatra wasn't famous because she was beautiful. She was famous because she was brilliant, a polyglot, a strategist, a ruler who held together her kingdom for over 2 decades of impossible pressure. History, written largely by her enemies, reduced her to nothing more than a seductress. The real Cleopatra was something far more impressive. She was a woman who refused to give up.